Alright, when we last left our band of intrepid adventurers, they had done battle with the remains of the miners who had been tainted by the meteorite's presence, and then been forced to face the rest of the expedition in the form of a veritable wall of eyes and teeth. After a tense battle, the group is injured but still standing, and now they can turn their attention to the fragments of meteorite that remained after the Gibbering Mouther's demise. Our party's adventure is far from over, however. They have yet to discover what else lurks in the pit or in the shadows around it. Let's find out together as we join them in the next episode of The Best Available.
I am definitely on the ground, panting for air.
Several small metallic fragments lay where the creature once was, that you can almost definitely identify as pieces of the meteorite.
Yeah, we should grab them and evacuate, because I do not entertain the idea of going down there and facing whatever the other thing might be.
The ground next to the edge of the pit ripples like water, and the three-sided creature floats up through it.
You had to drink that, didn't you?
The creature slides to the edge of the pit and then turns its triangular pyramid-like head several times to gaze at each of you before sliding forward, moving to some of the fragments, which it begins to gingerly pluck from the ground and collect.
Did you manage to grab anything before that thing showed up?
Angela and Natalia both, I think, have a couple of pieces. After it has collected all the pieces that it could find, it turns one of its blinking, milky red eyes in the direction of Angela and Natalia.
So it's not doing anything.
Well, it's not doing anything hostile yet.
I'm gonna yeet myself past that motherfucker.
As Natalia runs by, the creature languidly steps and turns, the top of its head opening and its stone-like mouth letting out a keening grind, almost like a whine, as she leaves. The creature wails in your direction, slowly sliding through the earth like water, but its arms remain at its side, and as it continues to whine and groan.
Can we identify what this is? Do we know?
Roll Arcane.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. 2 natural 20s. So, Bethaniel and Ara, as the creature enters the light and gets closer to you, you can tell that it is not necessarily a normal living creature. Its body is made of stone and dirt. Its eyes, the milky red, seem to actually be some kind of gemstone. The two of you, after just a moment of deliberation, are able to identify it as a Xorn. These particular elementals are unlike many of the more wild summoned elementals that can rampage across the wide swaths of space or be enslaved by mages. These creatures are known to wander the elemental planes and the insides of the earth, consuming tainted materials and doing battle against creatures in the Underdark of evil bent.
So it probably is trying to clean up the tainted meteor.
It is entirely possible that its keening wail, along with the refusal to actually attack, because it had the opportunity as you passed it, is it trying to speak to you in its own language, but failing to warn you that it's trying to protect you. They are intelligent and capable of speech, but one must know the tongue of Terran in order to talk to them.
Well, then I think we should discard these meteorites. Yeah, I'm gonna actually drop my meteorites on the ground.
Because from what we understand, this is not an evil creature.
Now, they are intelligent creatures, so it is entirely possible that there are evil ones out there, just like any intelligent creature. But Ara and Bethaniel will be able to most definitely attest to the fact that they have never heard of an evil Xorn. Normally, these creatures are peaceful members of the climate of elemental earth.
Right, so as far as I'm concerned, they're basically good. So what Angie would do, take out the shards that she gathered, and, well, without any menacing moves, just gently lay them on the ground, slowly, and take a step back.
Its upper body twists strangely, rotating almost like it is two parts, but with no seams, and it lets out a sound that is akin to two gemstones being ground together. It rolls slowly forward, the ground rippling at its feet as it passes, and slides under those fragments, consuming them, and then dealing a devastating crunch with its sizable earthen jaws.
While it's close, can I reach out and touch it?
You can. The surface of it is much like touching the ground. It's like running your hand over a hewn stone that's been well worked. But there is a heat and a life that emanates from inside of it. It turns its body to the side, laying down almost, and then its jaws open and unhinge. Its torso undulates for a moment, and a cascade of coins and gemstones fall from its jaws.
Whoa. So, hold on. It acts like a cat being pet and it's barfing money.
With a final strange metallic sounding erp, it disgorges what looks like a belt pouch, and then stands back to its feet and tilts its head towards you in a nod. This is most definitely an intelligent creature, but it just communicates in a way that is completely alien to you. It sinks back into the ground like a fish falling back into water and vanishes.
I am very curious what's in that belt pouch. Also, all them gemstones and rubies and shit like that, that's gotta be at least 10,000, right? We can enter ourselves into the competition.
Yeah, well,
You wish first level characters got paid that much.
I know.
So, you find the following items. 1,700 copper pieces, 1,100 silver pieces, 100 gold pieces, 2 citrines, a moonstone, an onyx, a rose quartz, a star rose quartz, and a zircon gem, all worth 50 gold pieces each. These trade gems are actually marked with the symbols of 2 of the cities in the north, Waterdeep and Neverwinter, meaning that either this creature or whoever it traded with purchased cut trade gems. Inside of the pouch, you find an assortment of potion vials. One is a thick black viscous liquid which seems to slip away from the edge of the vial without leaving so much as a film. Another one is a pale blue and contains several floating fish scales and even a tail of what looks like a minnow or a goldfish. 2 of them are the same amber color, a deep amber, and one of them is amber but has flecks of pulsating red around inside of it that glows if you shake it too hard.
Does anybody know what these are?
Unfortunately, I do not believe that any of you are arcane spellcasters, so no one has the identify spell. If anyone has the alchemist tool proficiency, you can roll to identify them. And if anyone is proficient in Arcana, that is trained in the skill, you can roll to identify them. Otherwise, you will actually have to pay to have these items identified back at Waterdeep. Well, then, having fully explored the area, you can either leave and attempt to camp, or try and make your way through the night back to Waterdeep.
Actually, really, there's something that I spotted to the west that I'd like to check out if we could do that real quick.
At your feet is the body of what looks like a near skeletal black dragon wormling. Its scales have flecked off of its body in several places, and its twisted wings are flightless. Most of its fleshy parts have shrunk and are sucked in tight against its bones. Its warped jaws and twisted claws do still look dangerous, however, but it lays motionless until it feels the warmth of your bodies around it and rises. Roll initiative.
All we have to do is disengage and run.
And it didn't know why. What do you think's gonna happen? Stand next to us.
It's a skeleton!
You guys are so close to leaving, too! I was like, oh, they're gonna get out of here without running into the black dragon wormling. Oh, never mind. Alright, Natalia, what are you doing?
We attack.
We attack. We attack. We have it surrounded anyway.
Your blow does collide with the creature, but it scrapes across its scales and leaves sparks and small chips along the edge of your weapon. It is definitely a dragon. Bethaniel, go ahead and roll religion. From what you can tell, that creature is definitely not undead. It is extremely weakened, and it looks like it has definitely seen better days. Probably got tangled in a horrific fight and has been twisted by the meteor's presence, but it's not undead. It was probably lying in wait. Black dragons are known to be cunning and horrifically vicious predators. Natalia's sword comes down and the creature bats it aside with its horns, but Angela's sword does manage to cleave through its wing and into its side. The creature screeches, flutters just a little bit further away, and then turns and exhales a line of acid that blasts through Natalia and Benethiel. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. Alright, you made your save, Natalia, so you will only take 9. Natalia drops unconscious.
This is not good.
And Benethiel, unless someone gives you their once per session save, you will be dead.
Okay, then I'll give it.
Alright, so you'll take 9 instead of the full 18, Benethiel, and you will drop as well.
Is that thing fleeing from us, or are we stuck with it?
It doesn't seem to be going anywhere further. It just hisses at you and hunkers its claws down. And Angela.
I will try to just get over here. Have my shield ready, just in case, so one-handed attack.
Hey, that's a hit. A gash across the creature's chest makes it shriek, and
Nice.
it starts bleeding profusely.
We know we can do it then. Alright, please get lucky, please get lucky.
Alright, Ara. Crossbow bolt thuds into the creature and sends it reeling. On its turn, it will use the disengage action and is going to run as far away as it can.
Oh no, you don't.
Nope, that misses by 1. Its wing...
Oh, come on.
Its wing flicks down and smacks your sword aside as you try and cleave into it. Crossbow bolt flies wide.
No.
Alright, twisting its head back, it sees that Angela is hot on its heels, and it decides that discretion is the better part of valor, and full out retreats. Angie, you can go ahead and take a swing.
That hit.
Oh, it hits! Is it gonna be
It
enough?
hit.
Is it gonna be enough?
Please be enough.
Oh, man! The creature steps away, and Angie, no you don't, cleaves along its side, and the creature wails and falls over.
You know what? After beating a freaking dragon, even though it was a small one, I'm going to go all Witcher on it and take a freaking trophy. I'm taking its head.
Alright. It only takes a few hacking chops to cleave its head from its body. I'm guessing that in the meantime, Ara, you are stabilizing your companions. By the way, that is the creature that has the highest kill count on this map, by the way.
Oh god.
I can see why!
After resting, you are able to successfully make your way back to Waterdeep, and are met at the exit to Waterdeep by your patron, who was currently gathering a small group of other adventurers in order to come out and find you.
Because of the message, yes.
But when you return, and with one of you holding a wormling black dragon head over their shoulders, he seems quite satisfied and pays the men who had gathered a small amount of gold to bugger off, because apparently his party did not need assistance after all. And he says, I am guessing that you had a rather more successful, if slightly harrowing, hunting trip from your message.
Hunting? We're supposed to check a meteorite.
I take it that you met with resistance when you arrived at the meteorite?
Things happened. It was strange. Extremely strange. We found this journal.
Mushrooms, and then this giant altered toad, and then these posts coming alive.
It seems whatever this meteor is composed of has some strange ability to corrupt life or at least biological matter around it somehow, because we've seen parts of corpses coming to life, we've seen fence posts coming to life and attacking us, we've seen a poor goblin that became a gods know what.
Oh.
It seems to have affected the
Well,
mind of the
before-
miners
bef-
trying
before
to mine
we,
it.
Before we go any further, why don't we do this? It is obvious to me that you have had a particularly difficult experience. Let us go to the tavern. Let us get a round of drinks and a few fine meals. We can talk over what happened. I
Yes,
can
please.
give you
That's-
all your 150 gold pieces, as I am sure you have plenty of information about the meteorite that fell, and we can determine exactly what it is that fell to the northeast of Waterdeep.
Sounds great.
Phenomenal. And he does exactly that. You take a carriage back to the Yawning Portal, where he rents a room for all of you, and sits down at the bottom at a private table that he has reserved, since he is a patron. He gets such things. And he talks with you about your findings and what he thinks that they may mean. After some discussion and deliberation, as well as no small amount of him puffing on a pipe and going through notes in his bag, he is able to determine that what fell was not a meteorite at all, but rather an egg, which is rather more disturbing. And he says that he will have to ensure that his associate, the astronomer, keeps his eyes on the sky for whatever vessel it was that disgorged this thing. He's thankful that the creature that was probably inside of it when it fell was not present when you arrived, because it sounds like it was a Neoghi, and that is a... Well, he describes it as a mantis-like humanoid with the abilities to tangle with one's mind, much like the mind flayers of old.
Oh gosh.
They often use these mental powers to subvert the will of others and turn them into slaves. They are well known as slavers. The egg-like object that you found is most likely a dropping pod of sorts from a airship known as a Death Spider, a biological construct that the Neoghi fly around inside. If there is one that is flying around the north, he would most definitely like to know about it. And this is the first step in discovering its whereabouts. As for what happened to the miners, things like this happen when you touch otherworldly objects. Some people's minds are not meant to handle such things, and unfortunately, devolving into a gibbering creature is not entirely unknown under the wrong influence.
So it seems like not descending into the crater was the right call.
Yes, most definitely. As well, the right call handing over the pieces of the meteorite to the Xorn. Heavens knows what would have happened to you had you still been under the influence of that twisted metal when you came back. You're made of sterner stuff than most, obviously. Just from being around it, you didn't find yourselves going mad and descending into full-on mental slavery. But it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to matters like that. After all, one wants their insides to stay as a part of their body rather than twisting out and attacking them.
Angie shudders at the table. Even though she doesn't really drink, she takes a big swig of mead.
As adventurers, we have to look on the bright side of things if we're to spend any amount of time in this profession. This is a true proof of your making. You are made of sterner stuff than most. Not many people would be able to contend with a wormling black dragon, injured or withered or not. They're terrifying creatures, and your acid burns that are still healing attest to that. I definitely think that my magic sought you out for a reason. Our meeting was destined by the threads of fate and wound in the weave. Once you've rested up, I will seek out a better task for you, and we will see about finding a name for your group. Think on it. If you don't come up with anything, then I can come up with something myself, but obviously it's better when the adventuring party names themselves. Just a few more tasks like this, and I will most certainly have no problem announcing my patronage of your group and putting you in the running for the delve into Undermountain.
Well, that sounds exciting. Angie shudders again.
Everyone is level 2.
Yay!
That Wormling Black Dragon pushes you right over the edge. Because you guys fully cleared the map, that got you the level.
Wow. Okay.
Proving once again that the old adage, that which does not kill you makes you stronger, is very much alive.
And with that, our party has completed their first task. Though there are more challenges to come, the dangers of their first adventure have been overcome, and they can look forward to many more such destinations in the future. Perhaps their next travel will see more peaceful rests and easier to triumph battles. Just a little hint for you though, it won't. Much peril awaits our young adventurers as they take on the fiends that harass and assault the folk of the Forgotten Realms, but I think that they have shown you they are up to the task. We will see you next time on The Best Available. If you want to watch the full video of our actual play, almost uncut, and with less polish to see the madness behind the screen, that will be available soon to supporters. With the holidays coming, we're hoping to not have to slow down too much. I mean, we've only just started speeding up, but only time will tell. We will continue bringing you these videos as fast as we can, and soon there will even be another series launching on the site. A little side project of ours, this follows an OD&D game back in the red and blue box days, using the rules cyclopedia, and is a hardcore game setting where great profit and great peril await around every corner. So if that's your jam, then as they say, please look forward to it. And that's all the plugging I have to do. You know where to find us on Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. We'll see you there. And here's a list of all of our awesome supporters. In the Power tier, we have Crean, Scorpius187, Doodlepoodle, Jay Jones, and William Smith. In the Planar tier, we have PPNTT807, CJ, Someone, All Is Fiction, Darth Cavalier, Joshua Williams, and Silent Angel. In the Adventurer tier, we have Bastion Falconwrath, John R300, Shadowmencer, Alex, Justin, @BreezeBender, Mystics, Katie, Andrew Akiyama, and Rosilla Streaming Network. In the Quest Giver tier, we have V, Slathar Silcom, and Robert Mischief. And in the Townsfolk tier, we have Night Archer, Scott Stedman, and Shugenja. And as always, your creative team, Doodlepoodle, Nala Fontaine, Shadow Wolf, Scorpius187, MC Cheshire, and the Forever DM, me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good night, all.